I don't love you anymore, Daniel. That's how my day started. No warning, no build-up, just the clink of her spoon against the coffee mug and those 5 words that gutted everything I thought was real. I stared across the breakfast table, my toast halfway to my mouth. The sunlight coming through the blinds made her hair glow, soft and golden, like the woman I'd fallen in love with 8 years ago. Except the warmth I used to feel wasn't there anymore. It was gone, replaced by something cold and final. "Excuse me?" I asked, even though I'd heard her perfectly. "I said I'm not happy, Daniel," she repeated, this time softer. "I haven't been for a long time." I set my toast down, my hands trembling slightly. "Is this about the trip? I know I've been busy lately, but I thought—" She sighed, interrupting. "It's not about a trip, or work, or one fight. It's just us. I feel like we're just going through motions. You're always tired, I'm always lonely, and I don't even know when we stopped being a couple." Her voice cracked just a little, and for a second, I wanted to reach out, to tell her I'd fix it, whatever it was. But something in her eyes stopped me. They weren't sad, they were relieved. Relieved. That's when my stomach sank. Because that look doesn't come from someone who's just realizing they're unhappy. It comes from someone who's already decided what they're going to do about it. The rest of the morning was quiet. She went upstairs to shower, humming softly. I sat at the table, staring at her half-finished oatmeal, feeling the air shift around me. I wasn't stupid. I knew marriage wasn't perfect, we'd had our fights. But this felt rehearsed. Too calm. Too clean. Like she'd practiced it. I went to work but couldn't focus. My phone buzzed once, a message from her. "Don't forget, dinner at Mom's tonight. Be home by 6. I stared at it for a long time. Dinner at her mom's, the same day she said she didn't love me anymore? Something was off. At lunch, I called my friend, Evan. We've known each other since college, the kind of guy who sees through my nonsense before I do. "She said what?" he asked, nearly choking on his sandwich. "That she's not happy. Just like that. Over breakfast. Man, you think there's someone else?" I hesitated. "I don't know." But she didn't cry. Didn't argue. She looked free. "Then you already know," he said quietly. I didn't want to admit it, but I did. I'd noticed little things. Her phone always face down, late nights, working on a project. That sudden interest in yoga she'd never mentioned before. And the new perfume. God, that perfume. When I got home that evening, she was dressed up. Not just dinner at Mom's dressed. More like date night dressed. Her hair was done, makeup light but deliberate, and she wore a black dress I'd never seen before. "Hey," she said, smiling faintly. "You're early." "I left work early," I said, hanging my keys. "You look nice." "Thanks." She brushed past me, her perfume filling the air, sharp, floral, and completely unfamiliar. "I thought we were going to your mom's," I said, eyeing the overnight bag near the door. She froze, just for a second. "Yeah. I'm staying over. She hasn't been feeling well, and I want to keep her company." I looked at the bag again. "You packed the blue dress too?" Her jaw tightened. "Daniel, please don't start." I wanted to scream. Instead, I walked over to the counter, where her phone lay charging. Face down, as always. "Who is he?" I asked. Her eyes darted up. "What? Who's making you this unhappy? Who's making you dress up to see your mom? Who's getting the version of you I've been begging to see for months?" "Don't do this," she said, voice trembling now. "It's not like that." But I'd already picked up the phone. She lunged for it, but I held it out of reach, swiping up on the screen before she could stop me. A message thread opened, her most recent one. The name at the top, Caleb Blackheart. The first message I saw read, "Can't wait to see you tonight. Wear the black dress. You looked unreal last time." My throat went dry. I scrolled further. Weeks of messages. Compliments. Jokes. Plans. Photos. Photos. Her. In our bed. Smiling at the camera. I felt my entire body go cold. She stood there, silent, tears forming but not falling. "Daniel, please. How long?" My voice cracked. How long, Lily? She pressed her hands to her mouth. It just happened. I didn't plan it. I was lonely, and you were so distant, and— Don't you dare blame me, I snapped. You could have talked to me. You could have left me. But you lied to me. Slept with someone else and still made me breakfast every morning. Her tears came then, but they didn't move me. For the first time, I saw her for what she really was. Someone who'd already left me, just hadn't said it out loud yet. I didn't yell. I didn't break anything. I just walked upstairs, pulled a suitcase from the closet, and started packing. Where are you going? She asked from the doorway, voice small. Home, I said. This is your home, she whispered. I zipped the suitcase shut. Not anymore. I passed her without looking back. Outside, the evening air hit my face like a slap. She followed me to the driveway. Daniel, please don't do this. We can talk. I'll end things with him. I swear, I'll fix it. I stopped at the car door, turned to her, and said the words that had been burning in my throat all day. You already did, Lily. You ended it over breakfast. Then I got in the car and drove off, watching her shrink in the rearview mirror until she disappeared completely. I spent the night at a hotel. Didn't eat. Didn't sleep. Just stared at the ceiling, replaying every moment of the last few months. The laughter that suddenly stopped. The phone she always guarded. The distant stares during dinner. It all made sense now. The worst part wasn't even the betrayal, it was realizing how blind I'd been. How I'd convinced myself that love was enough to hold someone who'd already let go. By morning, I'd made my decision. When she called, I answered on the first ring. Daniel, she said, her voice hoarse, I'm sorry. Please come home. We can talk, or go to counseling, or— No, I said quietly. We're done. She broke into sobs. You can't just throw it away like this. You threw it away the moment you let someone else touch you, I said. I'm just cleaning up the mess. There was a long silence. Then, through the static, she whispered, I didn't think you'd actually leave. I didn't think you'd actually cheat, I replied, and hung up. 2 weeks later, the divorce papers were signed. She didn't fight it. Maybe she thought I'd cool off, that I'd come back once the pain dulled. But some things, once broken, can't be repaired. I learned that the hard way. Evan helped me move into a new apartment. I threw away the sheets she'd stained with her lies, sold the couch we'd bought together, and deleted every photo of us. But there were moments, quiet ones, when I missed her. The way she'd hum when cooking, how she'd trace circles on my arm when she couldn't sleep. The memories still came, uninvited and cruel, reminding me that love doesn't just vanish. It rots. A month later, I ran into her by accident, at the grocery store. She looked smaller somehow. Tired. Alone. Hi, she said softly. Hey. We stood there awkwardly between aisles, the smell of detergent filling the silence. You look good, she said. Thanks. I just wanted to say, she paused. I never meant to hurt you. I was stupid. Caleb, he wasn't what I thought. He left a week after you did. I nodded. I'm sorry it ended like that. Her eyes shimmered. Do you think you'll ever forgive me? I thought about it. About everything. Then I said, maybe. But forgiveness doesn't mean coming back. She nodded slowly, a single tear slipping down her cheek. You were the best thing that ever happened to me. I know, I said. That's what makes it hurt so much. And with that, I walked away. That night, as I sat in my quiet apartment, I thought about that morning, her spoon clinking, her voice calm as she said she wasn't happy. She thought she was setting herself free. But what she didn't realize was that so was I. By dinner, she learned she was already single. And by midnight, I realized something too. Sometimes losing someone isn't the worst thing that can happen. Sometimes, it's the first step to finding yourself again.